Hello, welcome back to Foos Entertainment. This time, changing the things up a little bit and actually reviewing a movie outside in the sun. Well, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. My thoughts on this movie. Well, I would say, this one was an interesting installment in the franchise. It's the first one that's not technically a Friday the 13th movie. The very last Friday the 13th movie actually was Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And that was different from the first 7 films, but this one really changes it up a bit. It's also the one that has the first time that Jason was produced by New Line Cinema. So he moved from Paramount Studios to Time Warner Studios. Now, was the movie actually filmed in Vancouver? I really don't know. I may have to find out. But I could tell you how you can find out, because I probably won't be reviewing this movie again. You can probably find out by going ahead and going to IMBD.com, Internet Movie Database. So actually IMDB.com, so Internet Movie Database. Go over there and see where it was filmed. I thought the film was interesting. I've always kind of liked this movie. It definitely is an odd duck in and out when it comes to the Jason movies, because they all have taken place in Camp Crystal Lake, or have been relatively around that type of plot. This is the first one that really doesn't really have much of that. It takes place in the hometown of where Jason lived, and gives you a made-up, which has really nothing to do with the previous films, but made-up backstory of Jason in a small way, I guess. Well, let's go on to the premise of the film. After the events of the previous 8 movies, when does this take place? Unknown. All I know is they mentioned out in an interview that this film takes place 20 years after the first film. Well, we open up where we see this woman going to the campsite, the Camp Crystal Lake, and the power in the camp house is out. She tries to change out the light bulb to get more power. Weird, bizarre things start to happen. We find out Jason's haunting her, and he tries to kill her. She escapes. Then we find out that she's actually an FBI agent, and there was a whole big brigade squad of FBI agents waiting for Jason outside. And they shoot him thousands of times and blow him up with, I would say, probably a grenade launcher of some kind. And they blow him up into pieces. And we see his heart beat and then not beat. And then is 2 medical examiners in the medical examiner's office are examining his remains. One of them gets possessed by his heart, eats his heart, and literally Jason now becomes kind of like a body snatcher. He can go from one body to another body. And there's this bounty hunter named Creighton Duke, played very brilliantly by, let's see if I can remember his name. I forget his name, but a very, very good black actor. It's probably one of my favorite black actors in movies. Stephen Williams. Yeah, Stephen Williams plays Creighton Duke. And he knows how to kill Jason. And we find out that Jason has a sister, her name is Diana, and a niece named Jessica. And Jessica just gave birth to a newborn daughter, newborn baby, and broke off engagement relationship with a another character named wow, Steven, named Steven, and Steven, that is actually played by the lead star of the Friday the 13th TV series. Believe it or not, if you guys want to know about that. And basically, when Jason entered her body, it goes after Diana. Steven comes to the rescue, but not before Jason has the ability to throw a knife into Diana's back and kill her. And then Steven gets blamed for it. After the damage sustained by the current body he was in, Jason inherits the body of Diana's daughter, Jessica's new boyfriend. He has a scheme to go ahead and make him rich and famous on his crime time little documentary show called Criminal Case File or some shit like that. American Case File. Yeah, that's right. American Case File. And basically, Steven escapes captivity to try to rescue Jessica after hearing from Creighton Duke how to kill Jason. And it's pretty much quoted like this. Through Voorhees was he born, and only through Voorhees can he be killed. And only through a Voorhees can he be reborn. And we find out that Jason's mission to get reborn into his average, primal state that we know Jason is, he has to literally possess the body of either a dead or undead relative to his bloodline family. And what about that, with Jason surviving multiple attempts, Creighton Duke kidnaps the newborn baby and tries to lure Jessica to the Voorhees house to battle out with Jason once and for all. And we find out that this dagger that Creighton Duke has been weaving around throughout the movie happens to be a ceremonial, supernatural principle dagger that, if held by someone related to Jason, will turn into this fancy super weapon that can actually send Jason to hell. So, teaches her about her bloodline and her blood right to kill Jason and send him back to hell for all time. And Jason gets reborn for the dead body of Diana. And in his primal state, Steven battles it out with Jason. And then Jessica finally gets the dagger, which are all the way through Jason's heart, and hands from underneath the ground in hell literally pull and drag Jason under. And everybody lives happily ever after at that point. And there's actually a nod to Freddy vs. Jason in this movie, to where a dog is sniffing Jason's hockey mask, and basically Freddy's claw comes out of the ground and grabs Jason's mask and pulls it under. Kind of giving a nod that there's going to be a Freddy vs. Jason movie at some point in time, which I thought was kind of interesting. Because they're owned by the same company now, it makes sense to do that. Well, audio and video quality for this one. Video-wise, this is where it gets really interesting. At points in the movie, it seems like it's filmed like a movie, but I cannot tell you that there's a lot of sequences from the very beginning get-go of the movie. It seemed like they used cameras that were more designed to make the movie look like a televised TV movie and stuff like that. And that's kind of what it looks like to me. It looks like a televised movie. It doesn't really look much like a movie. It has a very digital, very digital and almost cam-like look to the movie. Very much warm and neutral temperatures, not much in the way of cool temperatures in the movie. But what's interesting is it's not so it's not so dark when it comes to the movie. This, you can tell it's neutral and warm temperatures, but there's not really a whole bunch of dim and dark sequences in the movie that are overly dark. But I think it's because the film looks so digital. But it also has a flaw of kind of looking like a TV movie, which is something I find a little distracting when it comes to the video quality. Audio quality. This kind of reminded me of Die Another Day, which I'll be reviewing next month when I reveal the James Bond films. It kind of reminds me of Die Another Day with the fact that David Arnold in that movie, when he mixed the mix of the movie, he did reverse of what we normally have as movies. So normally most of the sound that you have is in front of you. It's not around you. It's always in front of you. And just like in Die Another Day, Jesus Goes to Hell has the sound the opposite of what we normally perceive as a movie mixed track. You know, a movie experience. He has all the sound is really around you. It's not in front of you. So it makes more use of the surround speakers than it does of all the other speakers. So that's kind of the best way to describe the sound. I would say that I actually, this is just my favorite Friday the 13th movie. Of course not, Part 6 is. But for being a film that is very different and being a movie that's very interesting and stuff like that, I would say I actually enjoyed Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. It is in no means, you know, a film that is way up there in the series, but it definitely is an enjoyable movie. Does this film get hated on a whole lot? Yeah, it does, because it's different. And you actually only get to see Jason as Jason for probably about maybe 8 minutes in the movie. But I thought it was a fun movie and a fun ride to watch. And that's all there's pretty much to say about Jason Goes to Hell: The Final Friday. Do you like the movie? Do you not like the movie? Do you like this video? Do you not like this video? As always, subscribe. Check back with me from time to time. And I will see you guys next time for my review of Wes Craven's New Nightmare.